The first ever all-electric Gran Coupe is here with the iconic styling, performance, recycled materials to make it more eco-friendly. BMW of Wesley Chapel has given us the all-new BMW i4 M50 in this black sapphire metallic. The new EV brings a quick charge with range, 0 to 60 times, almost as fast as the M3 competition. Rivals like your Tesla Model 3, your Kia EV6, but which is the best all-electric performance / luxury vehicle to buy? I'm Anthony from Hawkeye Rides, and we're going to go over all the specs and details starting now. The all-new BMW i4 M50 keeps the best mix. You got your aerodynamics, better weight distribution, in tune for the first time in an electric vehicle, and the heart of it is the double kidney grille with functional shutters under it off the G26 4 Series Gran Coupe platform, which gives us an inch wider front track, making it 72.9 inches and a height of 57 inches. Short overhang with a co-effect at 0.24. Aluminum body panels, suspension components, chassis to offset the curb weight of over 5,000 pounds. Power bulged hood is still implemented with this. Icon adaptive LED headlamps, the most aerodynamic BMW ever built, and it starts on the side with the wheels. This is a mixture of aluminum and plastic that's going to offset the weight by 15%, giving us 9 miles roughly of range extra. Thinking about everything, BMW's doing that. 19-inch MY spoke bicolor midnight aero wheels behind it with the blue brake calipers. These are M composite brakes, a weight distribution at 48.2 to 51.8, making this one of the best aerodynamic vehicles for electric. Comparing it to the Tesla Model 3, your Kia EV6, low-mounted batteries give 1.5 inches lower center of gravity, a long wheelbase at 112.4 inches, a length at 188.5 inches. Up front, you're going to get your strut suspension. The rear is going to have a air spring mounted 5-link suspension, M-tuned suspension for the first time on any electric vehicle from BMW to reduce wind resistance. You have your side gills and your rear diffuser, a wider track in the rear at 0.5 inches because of that G26 LED tail lamps. And the best part is they keep the electric look instead of the combustion engine because you don't have any fake exhaust. They do a great job just keeping the aerodynamics all over in all corners. Hatchback going inside your cargo at 16.6 cubic feet. We have a 12-volt storage on both sides, storage underneath the floor. You can split fold the rear bench to a 40-20-40 fold. That's going to max the cargo to 45.6 cubic feet. This is not going to be the best amongst the rival. There's no exhaust, but 500 horsepower plus is what we're rocking here. We have an iconic sound, electric by Hans Zimmer, which unfortunately you can't hear on the exterior, but we'll hear it on the drive. The new electric Gran Coupe was engineered for the best performance and range in mind. BMW backs that performance with an 83.9 lithium-ion battery pack, dual electric motors with a range of 270 miles, producing 536 horsepower and 586 pound-feet of torque. That's paired to a single-speed automatic transmission, achieving 94 to 98 mpg, good for a 0 to 60 at 3.7 seconds, which is almost as fast as your BMW M3 competition. The MSRP is pretty much what this is, spec'd out with what we got today. 0 to 100, 8 seconds flat, which beats the Tesla Model 3, the Kia EV6. Quarter mile at 11.7 seconds, which yet again beats the two rivals. What are we going to be achieving for charging? It's going to take around 12 hours for a level 2. However, when you go into the DC charger, 10 minutes will get you around 97 miles. If you get the BMW wall box charger level 2, 0 to 100 at 9.6 to 11 kilowatts, will get about 8.5 hours of charge. At 120 volts, it's going to take you about 4 miles per hour, so you are pretty much spot on with the contenders, more or less. The Tesla will be obviously the faster of the two, but the performance in this is just insane. Let me know in the comments what you think about the 2022 BMW i4 M50 as we go into the interior, go over the tech, and take this for our test run. Entering inside the new BMW i4 M50, we got to start her up. And you got 38.2 inches of headroom, 41.5 inches of legroom. These are sport bucket front seats, black perforated Syntec with the heated 12-way power adjustment with manual cushion extension for the driver, 8-way power adjustment with manual cushion extensions for the passenger. Now, this is going to be more or less a carryover from the 4 Series. However, you're going to get the iX displays. They're curved, so it's a little bit more driver focused. We do have the heads-up display. That's an update or an upgrade. We have the carbon fiber package. That's also an upgrade. The ambient lighting, that's also an upgrade. You get the Sensitech with the contrast stitching for the dashboard. And the setup is pretty unique, and it really does keep that electric image for BMW. As for the elbows, it's going to be pretty soft, and again, this is luxury with sport mixed in between it. In the center, you're going to have your dual climate controls. Everything, though, is through that infotainment screen. Cup holders, you can easily fit a 16.9 ounce water bottle. I'd say a 20 ounce max with a 12 volt USB, and you have your wireless charger. Working down, you get the carbon fiber, which looks really nice around your iDrive 8, which is the most advanced. You have availability of 5G connectivity, intelligent personal assistant. You have your wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. We have navigation with the pinch, the swipe. Click into your home button so you can see all the apps we have. You have different wedges here that you can just make it easy to toggle through to see anything that you need, really. Click into your menu. Here, you can make it easy for yourself so you can see every single app that we have in this particular vehicle. When you go into the vehicle apps, it does make it a little bit easier for your climate control because everything has to be more or less done through here. There's no knobs anymore through here, so you can easily sync it, whatnot. You have your Wi-Fi connection, your digital key, put it into your sport mode. It's going to change it to give a dynamic look. You can change it to sport boost, which will make it a little bit more aggressive. You can go into sport individual, and you can also configure it the way you like to make it as sport dynamic as you want on any of the gauges here. You can put it into comfort or your eco mode. Switch it to reverse. We do have a reverse camera with full trajectory. You got the grid lines. You do have sensors all over the front and the rear. And you feel very sporty in this electric vehicle as well. When I get into the Tesla, you're only going to have one screen for the Model 3. When you get into the Kia EV6, it's a little bit more luxury. BMW keeps the heritage of sport, which goes into that M steering wheel, leather wrap, it's heated, you got the cross stitch, multi-function. The gauge cluster can change with the sport. You can change it to the comfort, the Eco Pro, and it'll change the whole outlook. Door panel, it's going to receive a little bit more of harder materials on the top. You get the ambient lighting, one touch up and down, memory for the driver. Storage, you can easily fit maybe 2 or 3 16.9 ounce water bottles, illuminated M kick plates. So we have everything that keeps the attribute of a M. Let's see how I look in the back. For the back seats, I'm at 36.6 inches of headroom, 34.2 inches of legroom. I'm 6'3". I do fit relatively fine. You do sit a little bit in. And for the elbow area here on the door panel, it's a little bit more upward. So if you're a little bit taller, it's going to be kind of a different sit, I guess you could say. But as for the elbows, it is super soft here. Cup holders, I would say you could easily fit about a 20 ounce. You'll have your third climate control, 2 USB-C ports, your air vents and storage behind both of the front seats. The moonroof doesn't come all the way back, but that's a good thing because it gives us enough headroom for somebody my height. Door panel is going to have a little bit harder materials. You get the ambient lighting into here, one touch up and down for the frameless windows, and storage, I would say you can fit about 2, maybe 3 16.9 ounce water bottles. So it's efficient when it is coming to the comparison of Tesla and the Kia EV6. Kia EV6 has a lot of space in the back, But again, performance and luxury, so it is hard to do a blend and difference because how quick this thing is. Let's see how I look in the center. Sitting into the center headroom, not too much of an issue. Legroom, I'm pretty much grazing or against the back of the front seats in the position that I'd be sitting. I am sharing my feet, my butt, my shoulder, pretty much all space possible. If I move up, it seems to have a little bit more space, but then I don't have anything to really protect me in the back. As for the way you sit, it does push you out a little bit, so you're going to feel not necessarily awkward, but it's going to be a tight fit for 3 adults at 6'3". Realistically, if you need more space, they make the iX that's going to give you over 300 miles of range. This one's going to be a little bit less, but if you want the performance and you can still fit a family, I mean, you have to take your pros and cons. Taking the all-new BMW i4 M50 out with 536 horsepower. That is insane. Dual electric motors. Timing is pretty quick. You have good ground clearance. It's nearly 5 inches. You don't have to worry about speed bumps or going in and out of anything. 586 pound-feet of torque. 0 to 60 in the 3-second margin. That is insane, especially for a vehicle that MSRP is around $60,000 to $70,000. So it's pretty good. And usually we would be complaining about the price tag of the vehicle because of the fact of how expensive the thing is. But with the power that you're getting, it is insane. With the luxury that you're getting, it is great. Interior noise so far into the drive of the destination of where I filmed, very quiet. You do hear that electronic iconic sound that will be played throughout the vehicle, and when you start the vehicle as well, it starts it up. It sounds almost like a video game, so it is pretty cool. I do like where they're going at because it gives that futuristic vibe, and they don't actually take away from the essence of the Gran Coupe. It still looks like a 4 Series. There's very hard to tell the difference unless you're a die-hard fan of the 4 Series, which we'll get into later on. We're going to put it into Sport Boost. That way we can really see what this vehicle has. We're going to stop right here in the middle of the road. Already hearing that noise. It is so fast. I'm already at the speed. It's crazy. And the noise that you get, I've heard it throughout driving this vehicle, so I'm already accustomed to it, also in the iX, but this one just filters it a little bit more playful and gives you a little bit more of that electronic noise. With noise, only through the wheel well area. Hardly none through the windscreen and through the side windows. Excellent job with the sound damper. These red lights take forever sometimes. But it's all right, because I'm in an electric car. All right, here we go. So we're going to check the turn radius at more or less a stop point, in-tune suspension, getting about 2 lanes. And here we go. It is amazing fast. And I mean, it's going to bring me into the 3 things I like and 3 things that I dislike. Because anything more than that, I'd be buying this vehicle. The 3 things that I like starts off with the attributes of how this looks identical to a 4 Series. The only really big difference that you would tell besides the rear end would be that the grille doesn't have the larger chrome around it. It's blacked out. We're going to see the braking, which the Regen brake does a great job. It really does kind of hold you. The M Performance does a little bit more. Regular mode. Not as loud of an electric note, so I do say that it's a little bit more pleasing. The second thing that I like about the vehicle is how they add plastic materials, they recycle materials to help make it more eco-friendly, and that's exactly what you're wanting when you get an electric vehicle. The last thing that I like is the technology. You get 5G capabilities, availability at least. You also receive over-the-air updates. Now there is a flip side to this, which we're going to get to. 3 things that I dislike starts off with the way the screens are laid out. I understand that we're basically doing a carryover of the iX, and it actually fits okay the way they've done the design of this dash. However, if the gauge cluster was a little bit like cut, maybe a little bit more elegant. I do like the curve factor that they're doing, and it makes the driver focus. It's a little bit big for this dashboard. The carbon fiber inserts do help offset the look of that. The second thing that I dislike goes on to the reverse of what I was saying with the updates. BMW a few years back was charging for Apple CarPlay, Android Auto a yearly subscription. So with these updates over the air, everything's seamless inside. Who knows when they're going to start charging fees? And the last thing that I dislike is the BMW wall box. To install it and get it done correctly, any EV you go with, you're going to be spending $2,000 to near $3,000 extra just to charge your car faster than a 12-hour charge. And I wish this was a little bit easier and more eco-friendly with the price, because you're not necessarily saving that much. You are getting a $7,500 tax credit in North America with BMW. You will not receive that with the Tesla. You'll get that also with the EV6. The big difference though is you minus that off the value of the car plus another 25%. This is depreciation, plus you're going to spend another $3,000 on a depreciating asset just to charge it. BMW at its best right here, guys. Already up with the traffic that quick. This is almost as fast as an M3 competition, and that's at MSRP at what we pay for this today if we were to buy it. So you are getting a lot of luxury performance, 4-door, so you can fit a family. You have a sufficient amount of storage. When we compare this throughout this review of the Tesla Model 3, this one obviously is going to be more sport derived, even though that one's a little bit quicker on the 0 to 60. And the reason why I say that is you only have one screen here. So it kind of takes away from the image of a car. They're making it very futuristic. And you know, some people like that. I still like a gauge cluster though, and the fact that it's full-blown digital. I also have a heads-up display so I can see everything right on through the windscreen, so I don't have to even look anywhere else. Blind spot monitoring. As for dynamics, it's going to stay planted. This is M-tuned suspension. When we're comparing it to the EV6 for the Kia makes a great vehicle, and I like how futuristic styling it is, but at the end of the day, these don't fly. They're vehicles. So let's try to keep the aerodynamic cues to a nice settled point, but something that stands out from the crowd, just not something that's over the top. And I think BMW really hit it on the head with this one, because when you compare it to the rivals, it's the only one that still looks like a rather regular hatchback instead of a futuristic car that's coming from Mars. The best weight distribution for any electric vehicle, 48.2 to 51.8, is the dynamics from front to rear, which makes it almost a perfect 50-50 weight distribution. When you are considering that against the Tesla, yes, it's going to be a quicker 0 to 60, but 0 to 100, this beats it. Quarter mile, this beats it. EV6, it's not going to have too much of a chance. Now, yes, they are going to make a more power EV6. The GT is going to be insane. However, the price point is also what you have to consider when you're buying a vehicle. And when you're getting something with this many specs, this much technology, already getting the 5G capabilities, oof. If you put it into the B, I mean, this is what regen does. It literally will kill you. So don't put it in there, especially if you got it in Sport Boost. Just give it a little bit of gas and let it, or electric, I should say, let it go. And I mean, look at this. I mean, insane power every single time. Now, I'm not a big fan at the charging because I think it takes forever, and that's on every electric vehicle. But if this is something that you would like to consider, that's fine. I do like how BMW is doing their own product quality control, where they're picking out the products for this. Not just the recycling, but the lithium-ion battery components. So that way, when they're doing the mining, which is not necessarily eco-friendly, they're not hopefully doing it with child labor, because that is something that is known in these countries. Unfortunately, they do that. But I mean, here, look at this. It literally has hit my head so much that I have a headache. I would recommend, if you do give it full power, put your head on the headrest, just drive into it like you're going into a roller coaster. I'd like to thank BMW of Wesley Chapel for giving us this 2022 BMW i4 M50 for our car review. If you're already a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Hawkeye community. If not, click the next video right here, the subscribe button. Check out the details, merchandise, and everything we do here at Hawkeye Rides.